Hey guys, this is Bluecoat Cheesy Poops here. Today I'm going to try and show you how to weather a Well Wagon from the Bachmann Thomas & Friends line. Now I will give you a list of tools that you'll need. One, you'll need 2 artist paint brushes like these. These ones are made from Master's Touch. I use them a lot and you can use them for pretty much anything. Another thing you'll need is what I use is weathering powders. So this is what you'll need: brown weathering powders, AIM mix some, and then the last thing you'll need is this Testors Dullcote, and that pretty much seals weathering work that you do to the model. And another thing you'll need is this Phillips-head screwdriver, just to take the model apart. So I'm going to take the model apart and get back to you guys in a second. Okay guys, I have taken the wagon apart. Now surprisingly, this wagon does not need a screwdriver to be taken apart. Usually you need to unscrew some screws, but in this case you do not. The trucks are held together just by a snap pin right here, and you can just snap that out of place and it takes them apart. Then you just take the wheels off the trucks and you're good to go. So right here you have your shell, or your main body for your Well Wagon. So that's the main part you're going to be weathering. So now I'm going to take you through the steps of weathering. Okay guys, the next thing you want to do is hit it with some Dullcote. So shake it up really good, make sure it's all circulated. So don't worry, this gives a nice flat finish to your trucks. It won't shine the hell out of them. So give it a good 1 layer or a few layers depending on how much you want it. So that's about it. So you pretty much let that dry for about half an hour. If you want to do more, you can. Also, you can hit it with a blow dryer, and that'll only take like 5 minutes to dry. So that's the next step. Okay guys, the Dullcote has dried on this wagon, and now for the next step. Okay, so now you're gonna apply your weathering powders. So I'm gonna pick this up for a second. So you pretty much just shake it on there a little bit onto the deck. First, we're gonna do the decks first. So you can see that, lightly coat it. Don't put an excess amount on there, else you're not gonna be able to get it off. So take any paintbrush like this and just work it around, and make sure you get the sides of it too. So you can see here, getting a kind of good even finish on it. Like I said, you don't want too much on here, or else it's gonna just look, over weathered and inaccurate. It's just gonna look like, like crap. So make sure your brush is very dry when you do this. You don't want a wet brush, or it's gonna not look very good. So do that with the other side. So it should brush off pretty good, and if it doesn't come off all the way, you can just blow it and it'll just come right off. Okay, for the next step, you're going to want to do your sides. So take your brush and dab it in the weathering powder a little bit. Just brush it along like that. And just work it into the model. Don't overdo it. Get a little more on here. So let's work that in. Okay, well now we're going to do the same with the other side. Just drag your brush straight through the side. And also be sure to be aware of the size of the model you're working on. If it's like a coal wagon or something with heavy weathering, you might want a bigger brush, but if it's light framework with these Well Wagons, you can just choose a smaller brush and it'll be fine. So, dip my brush in again. Now, there's a few extra weathering tactics you can try with this. You can do water weathering with paint to simulate water rust, but you can do a lot of other techniques, but this is just dirt weathering with some dust. So on to the next step. Okay, now for the platform that in the middle of the wagon, and this is where all the heavy equipment rests on. Now for the platform, you're going to want a little more of a heavy rust color, because that's where all the machinery goes. So take your powder and this time add a little more extra powder to it. As you can see, I don't have a crap load on there. I'm not filling the platform to the brim or whatever, but yeah. So as you can see, I have a little bit of stuff there. For this one, we're going to use a little bit of a bigger brush. So just smooth it in there. Make sure to get the cracks too, because the cracks are really important to get on this. And give it a texturing look, because there's a wood platform on here, and you just wanted to give it a good textured look. Sorry, I'm moving this model around a little bit, but as you can see, I'm dabbing it. So now start with the sides. Get some more weathering powder if you need to. Sides. Just drag it along. As you see there, like I said, on the sides, not too much, but enough to look pretty convincing. So then you blow it. So you didn't get, I purposely didn't get all of it off because I want still a little bit of a texture look on there when I seal it. So now we're going to seal the top work.